What's going on, and welcome back. The Dallas Cowboys cover as 2-point favorites, improved to 7-3, taking down the now 8-2 Minnesota Vikings at home. Just give me your initial thoughts on this game, bro.
Man, that's an absolute domination, man. It feels so good, right? Just coming back from that last win. Honestly, I ain't really got anything I can complain about, man. Or you know, what I mean, I just think from everything you can even think about the deck, the run game, the defense, everything. You know what I mean? It's the perfect game, and exactly what Cowboy Nation needed. Maybe that Green Bay game was a game we needed to pretty much just make this final push, man, and kind of was that kick we needed, man. You know what I mean? Enough can't be said for what happened, man. Complete beat down, 40 burgers on the board, man. You love to see it, man. Love to see it.
I heard today that the 37-point victory over the Vikings is the biggest discrepancy loss an 8-1 team has ever had in the NFL.
Man,
and I think
and that's crazy. That's crazy.
Ooh.
Feels good, man.
And I want to also give out my public apology to Brett Big Meat Maher dropping 2 60-yard field goals.
Yeah. And they try to play up too, man. They try to play up, man. But man, like they come out there, you kick the first one, they do the whole review thing. You come out there, you hit the second one even better, man. Enough can't be said about it. I think he got the most 60+ yards field goals for kicking NFL history. So, hey, look, man, what a steal that's been. You know, man, we might gotta pay up for him after the season, man. Gotta keep those guys over there. So, shout out to him. Shout out to Micah freaking Parsons again, man. You know what I mean? He was playing at linebacker the last couple of weeks. Just to see him pop back in there. I know another standout to me. I mean, I don't even feel like we need to talk about TP, top playmaker, Tony Pollard at this point, man. But I thought another guy on that D-line, man, was Sam Williams, man. Man.
He's a beast.
He's explosive, man. I got to see more of that. Who's some other guys that just popped off to you this game, man? There's a lot of them, though, to be honest.
To be honest, obviously Micah, but he was actually playing middle linebacker when he got his second sack. He just hit the gap and exploded.
Yeah, but how long we been waiting for that though? Like that middle linebacker blitz that he was so effective at last season. I think that was dope for Dan Quinn to actually show that wrinkle again, man. Yeah, that was dope.
Dorrance Armstrong, man, he's coming on. I know you sent me that stat earlier about pretty much he's doing better than Randy Gregory over in Denver, although Randy hasn't played like that. But I think this front office might have made the right move moving off of Randy.
Well, you can't even just speak on Dorrance without speaking about Dante Fowler, who has 5 sacks himself. True. So you put those two together, what is that, 12 sacks on the season for the same price that would have paid for Randy? So I think it's fair to say the front office. And look, we at the end of the day, we're not scouts, we're not GMs. We can only put our input on it, but we will have to give Steven his credit, man.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's you know, and then I know we were kind of bummed about not signing Ndamukong Suh, but the way that this defense played actually aggravates me compared to how they played the week prior against Green Bay. And Maher balling out kind of makes me more mad at McCarthy for not taking that field goal in overtime. But 7 sacks against Minnesota. I know they got a beat-up O-line, but Minnesota, in my opinion, man, they abandoned the run way too early. We were getting gashed up. And that was it was 13-3, and they just kind of said F the run game. but it was way too soon.
But it's too soon. But it just goes to show you like what happens when everything is like clicking, right? Like, you know, you got your offense clicking, you got your defense clicking. When you got everything clicking, it doesn't matter if the team want to run the ball or not, because it's like at the end of the day, like everything is clicking. You're going to be in the hole regardless. Like we talk about the Green Bay game, it was 28-14, but hey, if the offense was still clicking, bro, we're not even talking about the run game this week. You know what I mean? So it's just to show you when you got a full, like a game plan for 4 quarters, what that look like. And to me, if a team plays like that for 4 quarters, that's the best team in the NFC to me, and maybe even the NFL. You know what I mean? When it's all said and done. So I'm just hoping that we can continue that. I thought the main thing was just seeing Dak not throwing it all over the field. I mean, he threw it all over the field. That's, you know what I mean? But to talk about it in context, like the numbers, only throwing it 25 times, you know, 22 for 25, efficient. You see Tony Pollard and Zeke, they got just about even touches, you know what I mean? So I think overall, as far as like just the run game versus the pass, and then that helps your defense. The defense get the penny ears back, help the offense too. Man, it was complimentary football all the way around the board, man. Domination.
Yeah, absolutely. I do
Hey,
want
Kirk.
a couple stats. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say Kirk got hit like 1 or 2 times. He was checking out, bro. He was looking over there at the head coach, like, look, man, you gotta do something, man. Come on, give me up out here.
They they said DQ was after Kirk's chains, bro.
Give me that.
Uh,
Debo.
couple key stats, couple key takeaways from the game here. So we were 12 of 17 on third down. I know at one point we were at 85%, and I think it was like 5 of 6, and then we ended up like 6 of 8. Obviously, some of these stats are going to tamper after CBS cut the game off and Cooper Rush came in, which, by the way, CBS don't do that. I was trying to
Yeah.
watch us bully Minnesota. 6 penalties for only 39 yards. Still too many penalties, but luckily the yards weren't crazy.
Right.
But what that tells me is that was not very many holding calls, not very many dumb calls. Like they were short yardage penalties. We averaged 3.8 on the ground. Minnesota was 4.3. So, as I was saying, I think they could have continued to run the ball there. We had 40 rush attempts. They had 17. Time of possession, dude, 37-24 Dallas, 22-36 Minnesota. That's how you win football games.
That's a nice stat right there. And I think that's, if you talk about takeaways, what we can pull from this game, time of possession. Like that's what you want to see. You want to be able to just complete dominate for 4 quarters, run the ball. Man, I want to just say the offensive line, man, look, probably the best I've seen them all season. And then if you've seen like late in the game, I know it's very noticeable. A lot of people, even they pointed out during the the broadcast that you see Tyler Smith was finally moving over to left guard. You see Peters coming at tackle, kind of just tipping their head a little bit. That we know Tyron Smith is getting ready to come back. So I think as we get a little further into this late stretch we're about to see, I think we probably gonna get even better from within. And how crazy that sounds, you know what I mean? So shout out to Terrence Steele, Zach Martin, man, all those guys, man. It was a complete game for the offensive line, and I just thought that. And when I talk about the run game, I think the main thing is how we use these guys and how much have we been like just begging and asking for Tony Pollard to be involved in this passing game, right? And not just running out there in the flats, man. To see, they call that wheel route and he's matched up against linebackers. Like we know that's a mismatch all day long, and just to finally see that, and then like you said, you get into the red zone, flip flop it, put Zeke in there, let him, he got a nose for the end zone. I thought that was just amazing to see, man. Both of these guys are effective at what they do. As long as we do that, man, we're gonna be tough to beat.
I also want to mention we did hold Justin Jefferson to 3 catches. Shouts out to that secondary, man. Shouts out to that pass rush.
Yeah, pass rush.
What they accomplished against a really good offense, like that should not go unrecognized. That was a phenomenal performance by this Dallas Cowboys football team after the dud they dropped last week on defense.
Yeah. If you listen to Micah, them boys had a point to prove, man. It seemed like everybody was just down about it. I feel like we let a game go that we knew we had, and just to see them bounce back in that way. And I can't wait to see if we keep that same momentum heading into this Thanksgiving Day game, man. I like you said, man. I think we need to be. We're gonna be in there fighting for second place. When you look at the landscape of the NFC, right? You see the Eagles. And I know you watched the Colts game. Like I watched the Colts game. You're looking at it like, okay, like it's a beatable team. I don't want to take nothing away from a good team over there. And then when you think about some of the top teams, like will the Packers make the playoffs? We lost to them. Like probably not. Will the Rams make the playoffs? Buccaneers may not be there. But when you look at this landscape of the whole conference as a whole, man, I don't really see too much standing in our way when we play this type of ball. You know what I mean?
No, if we can maintain that run balanced approach, man, and just control the clock. And I do want to say too, before we get out of here, man, Tony's special. The way he can move with the ball in his hands, like he's elite, like very elite. And limiting his touches makes him more elite because he stays fresh.
Facts. And it's just like this, it's gonna be there, man. I don't even just look at him like a running back no more. We're just gonna call him a weapon. You know what I mean? That's a guy.
Yeah.
You just give him the ball every week, man. That's I would say our top playmaker. You know what I mean? Top playmaker on offense, TP. Top playmaker on defense, Micah and TP, man. We're gonna roll with that. But shout out to CD, man. Too. You know what I mean? No, go ahead.
Yeah, of course. The catch before the half, that was beautiful, man. CD too. I know I've been kind of down on him this season, but the last couple of weeks he has shown a lot of improvement. And if the Cowboys make this move, that we're thinking they make, and CD can have a little less attention, it's only going to get better from there.
Nah, he's definitely showing up, man. In a major way. If you think about it, he's had like some of the best games so far. Him and Dak really haven't had all that many games together. I know it's just crazy to say, but whether Dak was out, Dak is, what I mean, he's been in and out of the lineup. They haven't had a lot of time together. They're still working on their chemistry, but I think so far the sample size that you see, man, um, it's just been a little things in between where it's like, should he have been there? Should he cut like that interception stone that's kind of put him in a bad light? But outside of that, man, he's been very productive since Dak returned to the lineup. He's looking like a wide receiver one, to be honest, man. So like you said, we could add OBJ in there. Maybe James Washington comes back. Who knows, man? But and even Gallup, man. I don't know what it was as far as the stat sheet. He didn't have the biggest game, but I think just looking at the eye test of it, he looks a lot more comfortable out there. You know what I mean? He's catching it. I'm starting to see the run after the catch ability come back a little bit. So I just think overall, I like the landscape of everybody in the offense, man. Kellen Moore, man, this is what I'm talking about. This is the type of game I'm talking about, man. Look, this is what happens when you don't ask your quarterback to throw it all over the field. Stick to this, man. You see what happens when you call a game like this, man. I think this was big for him, and hopefully Mike McCarthy is in the locker room telling him the same thing. Like, all right, Kellen, that's what we're talking about, man. Solid game for you. If we're gonna bag on you when you have bad games, I think it's only right we give you flowers for this one, man. So shout out to Kellen Moore this week.